Bonjour tout le monde. Aujourd'hui est mardi le 25 janvier. Le mot de passe, j'ai oublié. You'll have your Flipgrid tomorrow where you need to make sure you recite that. Aujourd'hui dans l'histoire, we'll look at momentarily, but there's no discussion that you need to do today. We are going to créer un personnage. We're going to create a character, build a character, and then you have some review to do for TPR. Again, that will be coming up tomorrow. So for your Flipgrid and or your the Google Meet. So make sure that you take a look at that. Okay. Aujourd'hui, c'est mardi, le 25 janvier, c'est l'anniversaire de l'Académie française. Okay. L'Académie française is kind of like the word police in France. And that's a funny way of putting it, but it's not entirely untrue. It is a group of very, very well-established authors in France who come together to determine what words should be in the French dictionary and other just kind of making sure that the French language stays pure. One of the things that they're kind of well known for, or maybe notorious for, is that they don't like it when Anglicisms or Americanisms come into their language. So when an English word seeps into the French language, oftentimes it's going to be having to do with technology, stuff like that. So, for example, an email is a very common way to say an email in French. But the Académie Française, wanting to preserve the French language and have as little interference as possible from English, likes to call an email un courrier électronique, literally meaning an electric letter. So interesting. Most people don't use the word un courrier électronique. Some people put it together and say un courriel, which is pretty short, I guess, compared to the longer version. But anyway, most people just say an email. So that's just one example. Basically, they police the French language. En 1635, le cardinal de Richelieu. Le cardinal de Richelieu was a member of the royal, what's the word I'm looking for? Helped out the king, stuff like that. Anyway, le cardinal de Richelieu a créé l'Académie française. A créé, he created it. Il y a 40 membres de l'Académie qui s'appellent les immortels. Et ils sont immortels because normalement on est membre pour la vie, for one's entire life. Alors immortel, meaning that they are there for life and also their ideas will never die. La mission de l'Académie française est de faire des règles pour la langue française. Like the example I gave you earlier of un email versus un courrier électronique, that is the kind of stuff that l'Académie française determines. And then they put out the official dictionary for the French language. Okay, voilà, aujourd'hui dans l'histoire. The only activity you have today that will be graded is this, créons un personnage. So you're going to open up this Google link and Google form link, and you're going to make up a character from an inanimate object. So think like cars or the brave little toaster if you're familiar with this, where something that is inanimate comes to life. So in the Google form, you will see il y a un or une, choose an object. You're not going to know how to say the object, so use wordreference.com. Il s'appelle or elle s'appelle or even il s'appelle. Il est, elle est, il est grand, petit, de taille moyenne, sympa, méchant, il a les cheveux de quelle couleur, il a les yeux de quelle couleur, il aime, quelle activité est-ce qu'il ou elle aime? What do they like to do? Qu'est-ce il n'aime pas faire? Il a un animal de compagnie. C'est un ou une. And then I need you to draw your character using the various characteristics that you came up with above. And then take a picture and add that file here. Or you can use Google Draw and download that and add that file here. Okay, voilà. Si vous avez des questions, any questions, envoyez-moi un courrier électronique. Send me an email. Au revoir tout le monde.